Hey guys, it's Darren here with Mash Outdoors. We're gonna go set some traps tonight. Got my brother Brody with me and the whole family, and we're gonna see what we can make happen. Thank you guys. Okay guys, we're out here at our first trap site, and what we're gonna do is we are going to set these traps, and these are raccoon traps. Some people call them coon cuffs, and we have 4 of them they're going to set tonight. We're going to set these and we're going to see what happens in the morning. Brody, I'm going to turn it over to you, and if you want to set this and make sure it's got plenty of bait in it, we'll get everything rolling. Okay. You want to tell them what you're doing, Brody?
Just pitching it down so it can set.
What he's doing is he's setting this dog, which is this part right here. That's the dog of the trap on this pin down here, and putting it into the embankment of the pond here. And we have a steel cable anchor driven into the ground here, and inside we have a little bit of chicken, cat food, and ground tuna, just a little mix of things. And hopefully in the morning we'll have a raccoon to show you guys. Thank you. We got set number 2 here. Brody's gonna set it up for you. Will you show him where the dog is, Brody, on that?
Yeah, it's right here where it clips on.
And then that spring compresses. We'll get a better view of everything on this next trap for you guys. So he's gonna push that into the pond bank, and now we are ready to go. Okay, we're on to this next trap site. Here is a sprung clear cuff, and Brody is going to show you the best he can in this darkness how we're going to set this. So he's going to press that spring down, bring the dog around, and find right where it latches. Put that in there for you guys. And he's going to press it into the ground, just like so. And it's set and ready to go. What do you think, Brod?
Good.
Looks good. Okay guys, this is our last set of the night. Brody's going to make quick work of this one. We're going to get it punched in the ground, and that's all for tonight. We'll see you guys back here in the morning. Okay, we're coming up on our first trap site of the morning. Looks like we got a nice coyote here.
Yeah, you can see it's not perfect. If you see how it kind of breaks behind the shoulders, the hair gets thin right there back behind his shoulders a little bit. Our coyotes are real bad to do that. I've heard all kinds of stuff from like right in that area, right where it kind of is a little different, that darker. It's a little bit broke behind the shoulders. That'll hurt the quality of the pelt a little bit. I've heard all kinds of theories on it, like that it's from running underneath fences, it's rubbing underneath fences, to just it's a natural thing that happens, to it's a sign of mange, or it's a sign. I don't really know, if I'm honest, exactly what causes it. Everybody's got a theory, but that's the only bad spot. Other than that, it looks pretty good. We'll roll it over and look at the belly. The belly will tell the tale.
This is the first coyote of the year for you, isn't it?
Yep, this is the first coyote of the year. This is the 3rd critter on this set. So the first one was a possum. The second one was a gray fox, and then this coyote this morning. That's 3 days in a row. It's a crazy thing that goes on. You've got a set just over there, and I've got a set just over there, and you'll have one set that just seems to catch fire. And again, I could make up some sort of really fancy lie for everybody and tell them, this is just a mouse base. It's a dirt hole. It's gone now. It's obliterated, but there's a little dirt hole that has a mouse base predator bait by Kellen Brothers down in that dirt hole. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get this one dispatched and we'll get moving on, but we'll do a remake with it right quick, and I'll make the best out of the remake. Maybe we'll kind of take a look at a remake and see what it looks like after he's kind of made a big fluffy grass circle here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Broke that thing free before we got down here.
want it to fit tight. You don't want the trap to be loose. So whenever you wedge this loose jaw in there, that trap is
Doesn't have any give to it.
solid as rock. That's what you gotta have. You want that trap to be solid. And we'll take the peat moss. And what I want to do is with the back of my hand, I want the lowest spot in that to be right over that pan. And this will just be a little fine sifting of dirt, and all this does is just kind of hold that peat moss in place. I mean, it's not any more than just a little dusting. If you put too much dirt on it, it'll crust up and freeze. And then that defeats the whole purpose. So you don't want it to crust up and freeze ever. You don't want to put too much grass clippings on it. If you put too much grass clippings on it, it can plug the trap up. But you want it to blend back in.
I mean, from this distance here, you can't hardly tell it. You get up close and you know what you're looking for. You can see it good.
Yeah, you won't be able to see them. I'm gonna kind of
especially after it settles.
Oh yeah, after it settles. I'm gonna just use my dirt hole auger. I'm just kind of wallering out a hole about 6-8 inches deep. This is the exact set that coyote was in this morning. This is exactly how I made that set, and that's all there is to it.
Perfect.
No flash, no dash. You don't want it to stick out. You want it to blend in. Whenever you're doing coyote sets, you don't want anything to stick out. We'll do a coyote trap out here close to where they've been. Probably somewhere out in there, close to where they've been skinning deer and hanging deer up, but not right at where they've been doing it. Someplace pretty close to it.
Okay. So we're doing a bobcat set here.
We're going to pre-tangle this drag so that it is snagged up, it's secured. So the whole reason for putting that on a drag is that cat, as soon as if we catch a cat or we catch a fox or we catch a coyote, it's going to try to take away from where that trap snaps off, so it's going to get tangled up. 9 times out of 10 when I'm set here, they tangle up right over there. So when I'm checking before work, what that means is I don't have much time to rebait, because literally that trap snaps out of that bed, the bed's just sitting there. All I got to do is take the trap off the animal, reset it, versus that coyote where they're staked at the set, you know what I mean? Whenever they're actually at the set, you got a bigger mess to deal with. So it takes a little longer to do the remake. So a lot of these, I'm doing this way so that I don't have to have the time invested in redoing them. About the biggest time drain on them is if they get really, really tangled up, where it takes a long time to untangle them. But otherwise, it's pretty fast. I want this pipe to be about 6-8 inches above the ground. Really important that it's like that. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's really important it's like that, because a cat won't get down on its belly to look into a pipe, but if it can walk by and just kind of poke its head down in it, it'll look down in it. So I've noticed cats will really ignore a pipe, one of these small pipes that's sitting right on the ground, but you put it up a little bit, and suddenly you've got something that the cat will look into, and you'll have them.
What size trap should they be using for cats, John?
3s, number 3. I like the square jaw bridgers. I like a number 3. I like to own a lot of real estate with a cat, meaning the area it's got a bigger pan on it. Cats won't, when I say cats, I'm talking about bobcats. Bobcats will not make, well, like a fox or a coyote, that when you see their tracks in the snow, they'll be 100 steps. If they're interested in what you've got lured in that tube, there'll be tracks everywhere. A cat, when you see their tracks in snow, they come by one time. And so I want to have as big of an area for them to accidentally step on as I can get. I don't want to risk missing a cat. And that's what you run into. Those small traps, it don't hurt nothing with a coyote and a fox, because a lot of times you'll get multiple steps on a set. I also don't, I'm gonna put a little bit of debris. That cat will step on that dirt pattern. It won't bother a cat at all. I would cover that dirt pattern up a lot of times for a canine set, but for a cat, I'll leave it just like that. In, out, quick, dirty. Just that easy.
So we're making a scent post set here.
Yeah, it's where they come and mark, just like a dog does. So we'll end up putting urine on this set. It don't have to be perfect. I just don't want what they call stall outlines, where it's a real clear pattern, where it's a change. So if it's all kind of grass and then it just goes straight to hard dirt, sometimes they'll call those stall outlines. There's something that changes, and sometimes the animals won't cross that line. That hard trail between those two. Yeah, this is a big, so one of two ways you gotta go. I'm gonna grab a different trap with a clean anchor
So John's gonna make us up a flashy dirt hole set. He started his digging,
yeah,
switching his trap out.
So the two ways I go whenever I'm predator trapping, especially like coyotes, I either want it to be obvious something's happened or absolutely impossible to tell the trap's there. I either want the set to really draw attention and drive that curious animal and use their curiosity against them, or I don't want them to even know it's there. I just want the only attractant to be the scent. But I want it to be one of those two ways. I don't want it to be in between. Like, I either want it to be big, flashy mess, or I want it to be no sign I was even there. I don't like it anywhere in between. I want it to be one or the other.
Oh, that's good sound.
Yep, night latch. So this is going to be just this is going to look like something has really just dug and made a heck of a mess. Kind of just make this real dirty, where it's a real obvious mess. And I'm gonna make my hole for my bait right there. So it's kind of like something's dug up a hole, like a mouse hole or something. That's all you're doing, is just creating something with a little bit of eye appeal, something that kind of forces them around there to take a look down in that dirt hole. We'll smear a little bit of bait up in the top side of that hole and call that set good.
Perfect.
That's a flashy set.